Durable Story, Episode 4 A Path Begins. After dinner with his friends at the Ember Grill, Mark returned home, still thinking the fact that everyone around him now had direction. Everyone except him. The Towers estate was quiet when he slipped in. Lanterns glowed softly along the hallways, casting warm, wavering light on the sandstone walls. Servants passed silently, bowing as he walked by. He made it all the way to the main corridor before hesitating. His father's office door was cracked open. Mark approached slowly. Inside, Lord Justin Towers sat just behind his obsidian desk, sleeves rolled up, fingers pressed to his temple. His eyes were distant, the look he got when he was using his gift. Voices murmured faintly from nowhere, whispering from minds across Firebird City. Then Dad blinked, refocused, and turned towards the doorway. Come in, Mark. Mark stepped inside. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. You didn't. Dad gestured for him to sit. I sensed you approaching anyways. Mark sat, fidgeting, the words tangled in his stomach. Dad, everybody else has already chosen something. His father waited. And Mark swallowed, I don't know what to do. His father leaned back, regarding him with steady calm. Mark, your gift is not flashy, but that does not mean it lacks greatness. Many warriors, diplomats, merchants, and even kings lived their entire lives wishing for a gift that simply kept them alive. But it doesn't do anything yet, Mark whispered. His dad tapped the desk thoughtfully. There is a traditional method, he said slowly, consuming magical beasts. Their essence strengthens the awakened. Some gifts respond powerfully when given that opportunity. Mark blinked. You mean eating monsters from outside the city? Prepared creatures, his dad clarified. Tested. Safe, but potent. He stood, hands behind his back. Your mother and I discussed it. And given your awakening, we believe it may help your gift grow. Mark took a breath. Oh, okay, I'll try. His dad smiled proudly. Good. We'll begin tomorrow morning. As morning sunlight spilled into the estate kitchen, painting gold across polished counters and ancient ceramic tiles, Mark sat stiffly at the table while his parents placed a large wooden crate in front of him. His mother brushed dust off the lid. Remember, Mark, each of these creatures costs more than most families earn in a year. His father nodded. Desert scorpions are especially potent. Their magic lingers long after death. Mark stared at the box like it might explode. Mom opened the lid. Inside lay a row of mutated scorpions, each one twisted, shimmering, or glowing in ways that no normal creature ever should. Their shells bent light, their tails flickered like fire. One twitched faintly despite being very dead. Mark swallowed. Raw? He asked. Raw, Mom confirmed. If you can stomach it. The potency fades when cooked. Mark reached in and picked up the first one. A scorpion with rainbow sheen across its carapace. He bit down. Coolness slid through him, soft as mist. The world blurred at the edges, not visually, but sensationally, like his presence softened. Mom gasped. Ah, you felt that! Mark nodded, startled. The second one had dark streaks that ran along this one's tail. The moment he bit into it, his tongue burned and then numbed completely. Ow! Dad chuckled. A venom changer variant. Numbing effects are normal. The next one trembled faintly in his hand. When he took a bite, a ripple of vibration rolled down his arms and into the table. Mark! Mom jumped. He stared at his fingers, tingling with strange energy. Sorry. Next up was a smoky-tailed scorpion. Eating it filled his chest with a brief flurry of sparks, gone in seconds. He took a breath, almost half done, and he hadn't vomited yet. In fact, he felt better than ever. This one looked the same as the first. He braced for more weird sensations, but nothing happened. Mark frowned. Huh. The next scorpion was warm to the touch, shimmered with heat. Eating it made Mark's breath puff cold before his fingertips burned with searing heat for a brief second. Weird. Next up was a sand-colored, ghost-eyed scorpion. The moment he swallowed, one of his feet felt weightless, like gravity forgot him. He snatched a chair to keep from stumbling. Whoa! Dad steadied him. Burrow shades slip into the desert like phantoms. Their magic is unusual. Only a few left. He could handle it. Jagged plating. This wasn't going to be pleasant. Some extra chewing would be needed for this one. Chewing caused little pops and crackles through his joints. The next looked like the second, but with a different pastel swirling colors on his tail. As he ate it, something brushed against the edge of his thoughts, like a door trying to open. Then it closed firmly. Mark shivered. That one felt weird. His parents exchanged a subtle glance. The final one looked like it had something weird going on with its pincers. His fingers hummed with invisible static afterwards. Mark slumped back in his chair, dizzy and sweating. Mom dabbed his forehead. You did wonderfully. Dad rested a steady hand on his shoulder. Your gift is awakening, son. Slowly but surely, Mark felt different. Not strong, but stirred, alive. Something inside him was waking up. This was the most encouraging thing that had happened to him since the awakening. He gave his parents a grateful hug. His parents shared a smile. After breakfast, his father motioned for Mark to follow him. Today, he said, you wish to understand your options, so you shall walk with me. The administrative wing buzzed with activity. Guards saluted, advisors hurried with papers, merchants whispered urgently to assistants. Mark walked beside his father in awe. Justin paused near a courtier, his eyes half focused. The air grew faintly still around him, only for a moment before he nodded slightly. False accusation, Lord Towers murmured. Two families mistaken each other's crates in the market rush. Resolved. Mark stared. You read his mind? Not read, Justin corrected. I listen. Thoughts, feelings, fears. The city speaks if you allow it. Mark swallowed. Doesn't that get overwhelming? Only if you lack discipline. As they approached the meeting hall, a cluster of stern-looking envoys dressed in muted desert armor awaited. The symbols of Black Hill were etched across their chests. Justin exhaled. Our trading partners have arrived early. The Black Hill leader stepped forward. Lord Towers, we bring a proposal for this season's trade. Lord Towers' expression was warm, polite, but Mark could feel the temperature in the room shift subtly. His father's eyes sharpened. The negotiations began. To Mark, it seemed like an ordinary conversation. Talk of grain quotas, escort schedules, forged metal shipments, medicinal cacti, and ceremonial goods. But beneath it, Lord Towers' gift whispered the truth behind every word. When a delegate lied, when one hid numbers, when another feared their own shortages, when someone tried to downplay the worth of iron root bundles, Lord Towers adjusted the discussion effortlessly, guiding it like a river around stones. By the end, Lord Black Hill bowed, impressed, if slightly shaken. Lord Towers, their leader said quietly, you drive a hard bargain. Lord Towers only smiled. An honest one. After they left, Mark stared at his father with awe. Dad, how did you know they were hiding things? Dad winked. Practice and intuition. Mark knew it wasn't just intuition, but he didn't press. By early evening, Mark needed something normal, something that wasn't mind-linking politics or monster consumption. His friends had gathered at the Ember Grill, a small restaurant near the marketplace famous for grilled grain bread and sweet spiced meat. Took you long enough, Bob shouted, waving him over. Mark slid into the booth beside him. Alexi was glowing, literally glowing from excitement. Her braid shimmered as she shifted her chin proudly. I was accepted into the Royal Dance Academy, she announced. Turns out spinner enhances balance beautifully. My teacher said my posture is noble and promising. Bob snorted. Of course she did. Alexi ignored him, serene. Steve slammed a tankard on the table. I joined the army. Nancy nearly choked on her tea. Steve, that's fast. Steve puffed out his chest. I'm already being used as an armorer. They give me a weapon blueprint, and bam, new weapon, any weapon. I'm basically the army's personal smith. Do you realize, Darcy said sweetly, leaning close to him, that you'll be in battle soon? Steve brightened. Exactly! Darcy's hand rested lightly on his arm. We'll be such a strong team. Nancy's eyes twitched again. Bob raised his hand. I joined scouting. Darcy snickered. You mean hiding? Exactly, Bob said proudly. Nancy straightened in her seat. I joined the Merchants Guild. Mark blinked. Already? Nancy nodded, cheeks warming. Mr. Dalton said shape-shifting could be incredibly useful for negotiation and disguise. She hesitated. I may have practiced appearances. Mark tilted his head. You look different. Different was an understatement. Nancy now looked like a polished, radiant 12 out of 10 version of herself. Subtle changes to the bone structure, skin smoothness, hair shine. Still Nancy, but a perfected Nancy. Even Darcy stared for a moment before masking it. That's incredible, Mark said honestly. Nancy flushed deeper. So what about you, Mark? Alexei asked. What path did you choose? Mark hesitated. I don't know yet, he admitted. Mark clapped his back. So, then you're in the discovery arc. Steve grinned. We'll support you no matter what. Darcy said sweetly, maybe too sweetly, of course. We're all friends, and friends stick together. But Mark felt it again, that faint prickle at the back of his neck. Someone watching, listening, waiting. Nancy noticed his distant look. Mark, are you okay? He forced a smile. Yeah, he lied softly. Just thinking. As the group walked home together, laughter trailing behind them, Mark slowed. The shadows between the buildings thickened. The torches flickered strangely. He turned. No one there, but the feeling remained, a presence, a silence too deliberate, a watcher just beyond the edge of perception. Mark inhaled slowly. His gift pulsed. Faint, uncertain, but growing. Whatever waited in the dark, it knew he was changing, and soon he would no longer be able to hide.